Hey y'all again. I'm back to show you the flip through of this special order. Uh, she wanted an English cottage country style journal that she to document some of her travels, and she wanted a chunky eclectic charm. So I shared this big beautiful button from my friend Jen, um, which I think she sent me a couple of these, and I have one on one of my journals, and I thought I would share one. I just thought it went perfect with this book. And then this big clunky key and game piece and beads and more buttons. And then I put this, I had this old clock face. I think this was one of my mom's, and I just kind of tied that on there. And these pretty yellow and blue beads. Another little pretty button. This was a piece of jewelry. This was actually from a piece of jewelry. And more, pretty buttons and stuff. So she wanted a very eclectic, funky charm, kind of like what I do on my glue books. But the ones that I do on my glue books are very sort of kid-like, and I wanted to do her a pretty chunky charm that kind of went with the colors and everything in here. So I was gonna put Journey in here, but I could not find, I thought I had some stickers that had that on here, but I put the Beauty of This Life in there. And then I fussy cut this out of that English garden book, the bluebirds and this, and then layered some of that vintage map and music books, the ones that I just showed you guys that are available for purchase. Those pages came from those books. So just kind of layered. I didn't want to get overly too collagey. I wanted to keep it kind of simple. And then I used this beautiful fabric piece that, if I'm not mistaken, this came from Jessica Rapp years ago. I've had it in my stash forever, and I just thought it went beautiful with this book. Now this is a vintage book, and it's like that cloth cover book, and I love this color. I just like how these colors came together, okay? And she wanted I think she only wanted like 2 signatures, but I ended up doing 4, but I did small signatures, and she's still got plenty of room. You take that bulldog clip out. Yeah. And this book is like 6.5 by 9 1/4, okay? Which is what she wanted, was like 6 by 9, 7 by 9. And in here I put this beautiful paper that I had that looks like an English garden, and then I had some pieces of this vintage. It was like a big piece of wide lace, and I had like some pieces left of it, but I just loved it. And then there are a couple of little, there might be a couple of little stains on here that you can barely see, but these are pieces that I bought. I have a real hard time buying the really pristine linens and then cutting them up, especially like this. But this one had stains in several spots. I've been able to piece it and use it that way. But anyway, and now for hers, so I've got this beautiful wallpaper in the front, and then I just clipped this right here because I was debating. Now this was a linen that I picked up, and I don't even remember where, but it is gorgeous. And it just went beautiful with this page, in my humble opinion. And I just made it a flip, okay? I was debating whether to make it a pocket or not. But I think I'll let her decide, because if she wants to make it a pocket, it's easy enough to glue here and here and make it a pocket this way, or just glue here and make it a pocket from up top. But I thought, this is her book, and I wanted to put her some pretties in, some pretty things in here, but let her decide. But this just reminds me, of, it's just that English garden. This is that Granny Chic book, and if I'm not mistaken, they are both the ladies that did those. I don't think they're from here. I think they're from overseas somewhere. And this was from the the English cottage book. I bought that years ago, I think. I might have even bought that from, oh my God, Johnny over at Junk Journal Shop. And I hadn't shopped with her in forever. And here's a travel page with the buttons. This is some more wallpaper. And then I did not glue this down, but she can glue that down there, or she can add something else to that page. And I may still need to add a few things in here because I think I hadn't put, and then I put her a couple of, like tea-dyed papers in here just for, you know, writing, because I made that into like a little tub. Did put Tim Holtz vellum. Yeah. See, I just stuck a couple of these things in these pockets. I didn't really fill the pockets, but I did put the pockets in here. So, she can let me know if she wants me to put more things in there from the pack of stuff, or if she just wants to pack, and she can put what she wants in there. And then there's another sheet, a piece that she can add too. Here's the other side of where I stitched the pockets in. She wanted those in this journal. I didn't put them in the other ones, just because of the size of these. There's some more scraps in here, and another piece of really pretty paper, different wallpaper. So puppy. Here's another, yeah, this is another little photo sleeve with the smaller ones. Thought she could just put her pictures in there if she wants to. Another pretty vellum from Tim Holtz. Another sort of travel Tim Holtz page, and then another, there's another mother of pearl button in here. And I did put another different little, just a piece of fun little trim in there, little snippet. So this one is, you know, there are a few differences in this order that she had requested. There's the pockets. And then I did add, this I got from Maddie, this Beach's Common Sense Traveler's Expense book. I thought this might be fun for her to use in here, because I know she is definitely using this as a travel journal. And then this is Scotland. I didn't have a whole, you know, I tried to use the maps where I knew she had been, but here's another little pocket. And this was just a bit I had left up. This is beautiful. This is part of that piece that I put on my Granny Chic book that I made for myself, my journal. That's right here. Let's see. That's stuffed at this point that I need to show you guys that I have been working in it. Can you believe this? Yeah, I think it's from this same, is that the same? Yeah, it's from this same piece. Yeah, that thing is full, and I'm going to be sharing more of that in the coming days and weeks and months. So now I only glued this here. I didn't glue this part down. I don't like that, but she can. And when you try to glue this, it's very thin. So if you do decide to glue it down, be careful, because the glue will kind of seep through. Maybe this thing is in focus. Yeah. Anyway, I'm very happy with this. I'm very happy with all of these, how they turned out. And then of course she has a big old pack of goodies as well. Okay, big old pack of goodies. And here's her little, oh, wait a minute, that's not hers. That goes with that one. Here's hers. She has a big old pack of goodies, and here's her little pack here. There's one or two different things in there for her, but yeah. And then I don't have any, I'll throw a few of the pages that I have left from those other books for you to collage with in this one, because this was actually, so just gonna tell you guys how you can take a book that's completely, this was a book about fish. This was a book about fish, and on the front here it had all about fish, and it had like an embossed black fish on it, okay? And I took gesso and I gessoed over that image, and then I collaged over the top of it, so you would never know. And then the inside papers had fish on them, but I covered them up. But look how beautiful. I mean, this book was just so beautiful. And I'm like, I'm not going to do a journal all about fish, as much as I love the ocean and I love fish and all that. But this size worked perfect when she told me what size she wanted, and the colors I thought were gorgeous, or the color of the book. So you can take a book and turn it into something completely different. So keep that in mind when you're shopping for books and things, stuff like that. You know, you can change this. Like, I could have, now, I mean, this is an antique. It's an antique book, so I wasn't about to change it. But let's say I don't like this grunge, you know, but this was, I mean, let's say somebody's going to throw this book away, but you just really like this cover, you like the colors, you could still, you could cover this up with something else and make it into, you know, something else completely. So, anyway, just a little note. All right, guys. Thank you as always for watching, and to my customer, I know you've seen photos, but you hadn't seen the flip through, so I hope you're super happy with this. I'm super happy with how it came out, and I had to work on it in my head for quite some time, because this is a, you know, this is a switch. So and I am working on the Halloween bookshelf. I am doing that, but I'm also trying to finish up. I've got another order, sort of another school book type journal that I'm trying to finish up for another customer. And I had my, excuse me, I took a sip of my coffee. I had my deadlines, you know, set to get things done. So I'm also gonna do a flip through of 2 baby books shortly. Maybe later today, but I probably won't post that video until later, because one of them is a gift for my nephew, and it's a baby book for my great niece. And then yeah, we'll see. And she would be my great niece, right? Because he's my nephew. Right? So my great aunt. I don't know. I guess that's how that works, because I'm not a great grandma, but I'm a grandma. Anyhow, let me stop and contemplate that and pause while I'm doing a video. I've almost finished her book, and I've been working on that since February, y'all. Like, I was back and forth, and trying to get that one finished. And I have another baby book that's a special order that needs to go out in the next week or so. So I'll do a flip through that one, and then I'm going to I maybe bring you along as I'm working on the Halloween books. I've got all my stuff out. I've got a lot of stuff, like everything together. Just kind of got to put the pages together in the books and get them sewn in, and then do fun embellishments. So that will be coming. All right, and I'll see you guys soon. Love you. Bye.